Welcome to the Alpha Warrior Show. We're excited to share diverse perspectives and expert insights with you. Please note that the views and information expressed by our guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the Alpha Warrior Show, its management, or our partners. Each of our affiliates and sponsors and partnerships is a separate entity, and their opinions are their own. Today's content is provided for information and educational purposes and should not be taken as specific advice, whether it be financial, medical, or legal. While we strive to present accurate and useful information, we cannot guarantee its completeness or relevance to your specific situation. We provide all information as is and encourage you to consult with a professional advisor to address your specific individual needs. Your use of any information from this broadcast is entirely at your own risk. By listening further, you agree to identify and protect the Alpha Warrior Show and its associates from any claims or damages arising from your use of this broadcast content. Changes to this disclaimer may be made at any time and will be done effectively immediately upon posting or broadcasting. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you find the episode both informative and thought-provoking. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the next generation of warfare, psychological warfare. In modern conflict, the mind is a potent weapon. Discover General Michael T. Flynn's groundbreaking guide, The Citizen's Guide to Fifth Generation Warfare. Unlock tactics, strategies, and the mindset to navigate this cognitive battlefield that we all find ourselves in. Equip yourself against manipulation and emerge unscathed. Unleash your potential. Order now.
Yeah, I got my cheeser on. I'm happy. I'm in a good mood. This is the Alpha Warrior Show. I am your host, Alpha. Why is Alpha feeling good? Why is the energy so positive? Because this world is crazy. This world is crazy. And I understand because it's crazy, I got to bring on guests where we address the craziness. But from time to time, I get to bring on guests where we break away from the craziness and we get to focus on you, on me, on us, and, look at ways to improve our life, and especially our health, and kind of get to put the chaos behind us for a little bit. Then we go back to dealing with it. And I'm excited because I'm bringing back Kurt and Kristen, some amazing stories. I'll give you guys my feedback. If you missed the last show and don't know what we're talking about, you're going to find out here shortly. But before we do, I got to keep on the lights. So let's get to two amazing sponsors. One of them who is here today, and then we're commercial free through the rest of this content. So I will see you guys in just about 2 minutes.
You ask and we listen. We're finally bringing the most requested offer ever. Get the queen size premium MyPillow, now only $19.98. My Pillow is made with patented adjustable fill. It adjusts to your exact individual needs regardless of your sleep position. It helps keep your neck aligned and holds its shape all night long so you get the best sleep of your life. But that's not all. Get our 6-piece kitchen or bath towel sets only $25. Our brand new mattress topper as low as $69.98. Get our famous My Pillow bed sheets for as low as $25 and so much more. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get huge discounts on all My Pillow products, including the premium queen size My Pillow, only $19.98. That's the lowest price ever. Don't delay, order today. From all of us here at My Pillow, thanks America!
Science proves that a healthy immune system is the body's first defense against the smallest of ailments to the most catastrophic. Coriolus versicolor is the most sought-after, all-natural supplement for both humans and pets to help boost the immune system. There are over 400 studies worldwide on its effectiveness in humans, including Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, MD Anderson Cancer Center, and now from the University of Pennsylvania School of Veterinary Medicine. Together, we can help reverse this terrible tide now plaguing your loved ones and give them the immune-boosting supplements that they need.
So there you have it. Mr. Mike Lindell, his crazy 70s, 80s style commercials. Promo code Alpha works whether you go online or you're old school with that rotary phone. I ain't mad at you. Just tell them Alpha sent you. You'll still get the same discounts. And now, the guests you guys really want to hear from today. Kurt, Kristen, how you guys doing?
Doing great.
Man, I'm fired up from your introduction. I love the way your show kicks off. And, you know, I love My Pillow. I have one as well. So we use them.
It's great times, man. I love that, you know, the commercial with Pet Club has the dogs. And I know there's some of you cat lovers out there. I ain't mad at you guys. Healthy cats are just as important as healthy dogs. Like, you know, I like the ones that go bark. But, you know, a lot of good stuff since the last time I've been able to have a conversation with you guys, since I've been able to have a conversation with Eric. And I wanted to start off by showing the audience this, because honesty and transparency is everything. I mean, I grew up in the world of infomercials and stuff like that. And you're always wondering, do they really try it? You know, do they really use it? You know, and I want to let people know, here we go. Let me turn this one around. You know, been using the Plus. This is my second bottle now. I'll be getting the third one here pretty soon. And Clarity, that's the new one that I just added not too long ago. And what I'll share real quick, and then I'll turn it over to you guys. Right before the show, I was telling Kurt and Kristen, you know, when you try something and it's, you know, they give you medication, but it wasn't really, and you have this placebo effect, right?
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know, since I started doing the Clarity, I noticed something, but I was like, maybe it's a placebo because it's in my head that I'm trying something. But like soda cravings were like pretty much almost diminish because I like soda. I really do. And it was, but the other thing too, and this one I told him, I go, I don't know about how I feel about this one because I love my coffee, but I found myself not having to have my coffee. And it was just like, I was like, I wonder if this is, because the only thing new that I started was the blue bottle Clarity. And so I shared it with Kristen and she's like, no, man, other people have had that feedback. And hopefully, you know, I can connect with one of the people that has a very special story to that. So now, Kurt and Kristen, I give it to you guys. Where do you want to update us? What new stuff do you want to tell us? The floor is yours.
Fantastic. Well, hey, why don't we kick off with a few things about the Clarity, that, you know, some studies so that people get an understanding of just, you know, how good and powerful it is. And of course, in today's world and everything that's going on, it's more so the importance of, you know, keeping the immune system healthy are key, but also what this particular product is doing as well is just amazing. And so, you know, with the Clarity, just real quick, a couple of studies in 2009 when they really started studying this, when we talk about lion's mane, which when we talk about our products, just so that people understand, you know, they're getting a higher level of the amount that we put into, you know, the the capsules and the tablets that we provide.
Yeah, it's very pure and very potent, which there's so many mushroom products on the market. And we're so excited about that because the benefits of mushrooms are unbelievable, what they can do for the body. But if you are taking mushroom products, we always encourage people, make sure it's a very pure and potent strain and there are no fillers or additives to it, because that can actually give you adverse reactions or it's not as beneficial. So that's part of why we're having such amazing experiences with it, is because it's so pure and so potent.
Yeah. And so many, and not all companies, but so many companies are diluting, they're finding metals, they're finding a lot of things in them.
Lots of high
and
radiation.
We don't even know where those companies are spending their money at and who they're supporting. And at least, with Bet Club that, we think along the lines that you do, Alpha. We are right in line with everything that you're about. And our company is too. And the importance of spending money in the right places is key. Yeah. We all know that. We can't be supporting the sides that are really going against, everything that we believe and filling their pockets. And so we as a company, that's how we think. But the lion's mane, some of the studies that are really, really powerful is the 2009 study. And again, these studies started after the lion's mane was found to do many things for gut health. And then they started seeing really crazy testimonials and results for what it was doing into the brain and those types of things. And so, it improves cognitive health. It reduces plaque in the brain. It stimulates the nerve and neuron growth, which is very powerful. I'm just reading just a few clips off some of these studies. And it increases focus. It's an anti-inflammatory, which gives you that mental clarity that people are looking for, because if you can get that inflammatory out, it really helps that. Obviously, it's a disease treatment. Other studies show that it increases obviously the
gastrointestinal
health.
Say that 10 times quick.
Right. Acid reflux. So people that are dealing with acid reflux, it's been helpful. So, it's been helpful for people, with the hinal hernias that are dealing with that type of thing. Also, there's a 2011 study that also states that it inhibits cancer cells. Another study in 2010, it improves depression, anxiety in less than 4 weeks for people on average. And a lot of great studies regarding multiple sclerosis with this. And what they really found that's been helpful with this is helping with dementia and helping people with pre-dementia
and Alzheimer's.
It's just, wow. It's really incredible what it does. So, keeping these different things healthy are the key. Because, if they can keep us unhealthy and keep us struggling, then they know they can control us and win the game. And so, we're not shocked at all by the results you're seeing, because fortunately we're around what is happening at a higher level and we see some great things. And as long as somebody's body is responding to the mushrooms, they have a good opportunity to see the same types of things that are happening. And so that Clarity is a great, great product. People ask, how many should I take? Well, you get 60 in a bottle. 2 a day seems to be very good. Unless there's something really severe going on, then they might do, 2 or 3 times more than that, so that they can see what it does at a faster rate to see how it helps them. But there's just numerous studies out there, to back all of the things that we share.
Well, and like you mentioned, the whole idea is, hey, let's keep the prisoners too weak to climb the walls. That's really, because it all comes down to our compliance and playing the game with them. The moment we stop playing the game with them, they lose, and they know that. And so that's what's been so incredible about these studies that are coming out and about these products, is that it's really freeing people. It's giving them energy. It's giving them clarity. It's giving them focus. It's giving them strength. And when we are all empowered and strengthened, we can step into our calling. Like, we can pursue our purpose with so much more passion, and we can really, take back what's been stolen from us. And especially in these last couple of years, it literally makes me emotional. we have very, very close friends who are dealing with this because of decisions that they made a couple of years ago. Now, dementia is at an all-time high, Alzheimer's at an all-time high, neuropathy, Parkinson's. We have our friend who's only 55 years old who just has early onset dementia. And, she made some decisions. And unfortunately, because of that, that might be why she's experiencing what she's experiencing now. And it's just heartbreaking to watch. We have another close friend's 28-year-old son has early onset dementia.
28?
And so we have
28.
we can't just sit back and let this happen. Like, we have to use what God's given us, and we have to push back and, take it back, because that's the only way that things are going to change. And that all comes, thankfully, because of you and just educating people and opening up your platform and letting people make well-informed decisions, just giving them the information, and then they can use their own discernment and decide what's best for them. But people like you and shows like this are what we really, really need to kind of turn the tide and restore what's been stolen, and really all the oppression and everything that's been happening for so long.
It's wild to me because, I was like, well, I'm going to try clarity because, I just want a little boost when it comes to my focus. I got a lot of stuff that I got to do. You got to read articles, you got to research. And even when you love what you're doing, there still comes a point in the day where you're just like, you're mentally like, you're tired, like, or this, was this that story or was it this story? So I was just like, what, if this does, if clarity's on this mental focus, let me take it, for this little cheat, right? This little, this little boost. And to realize that there's all these other benefits to it that, preventative for me, in my situation, put this stuff in my system to help my immune system so I don't have to hopefully ever deal with that kind of stuff. I mean, it's remarkable. The other thing too is, 28 years old, and to have that fight in front of him, and then just to multiply that by all the people that are probably experiencing that, especially like with these rehabilitation facilities, when my mom had her stroke, she had to go to one. And you see like the pharmaceutical regimen that they put them on. You got to control this for your kidneys. You got to, now because you're taking this, now you got to take this. But it's just like, well, what about her brain? Like, what are you guys going to give my mom to help her with that? And then while you're there, you realize that these rehabilitation facilities have a lot of dementia and Alzheimer's people. And this is one thing I'll tell you that is just, I didn't understand. I just kind of saw that stuff as, it affects people's memory, and they have a hard time forgetting. That it kills you.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand, and maybe I was just the most naive one in the world thinking that, but people don't realize, no, you slowly start to forget everything, even like how to swallow and how to eat. Like, it's cruel. I mean, it's just cruel. And it's just like, if you have something like this out there and it's natural, then why, if you're owned by Big Pharma and you're not going to walk away from that, why wouldn't you at least introduce this into your regimen?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you? And, I think we all know the answers to that. And I think it's tragic. It's unfair. And I think it's targeted.
Absolutely.
4 days ago, I have those, those healthy shakes that you can buy, right? And it's a good quality one. I'm not going to put them on blast. I'm going to do some more research, but, I went off of the reputation of it, and for me, I was looking at, it's protein. I want to make sure it had the solid kind of protein in it, because there's good protein, just like anything. There's, like you guys said, there's people that say there is, but there's just other stuff more, like it's diluted. Right. And so this one I bought because everyone considers it very quality. But then I was kind of curious because I've been hearing all this sugar stuff and sugar. And I was like, I didn't ever really check it for the sugar, So let me turn around. I was just like, obviously it's going to have some because it does have a nice taste to it. But I flip it over, 39%. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, what?
Why?
That was my question. Well, two eyes. Why are you guys doing this to me? Yeah. And why did I just check right now?
Yeah.
I don't eat candies. I don't eat these other things, to avoid that. And all of a sudden you see this, and I can imagine what like the not really good brands content of sugar is. And I was like, I mean, sugar is the poison that they get us with. And so
Mhm.
now it just kind of made me cognizant to be like, we all need to start flipping over the boxes and flipping over the bags, and really see what's in there for us,
Yeah.
and get on, some of these mushrooms, and just start helping your body. Now, you guys give us a great story on what it's doing for people. Bring us back to the pets. For those that are like, well, I'm healthy. I'm here because I got my four-legged friend, and I
Yeah.
heard this stuff is really good for them.
Yeah.
What can you share with us?
It goes right in line with what you're saying. The same thing is happening in the pet industry. The things that they're putting in the foods, treats, and toys, whether intentional or not. But the bottom line is it's caused our pets to live, they're living half as long as they used to. And not every company does that. Don't get me wrong. But pets, in the 70s, the average age of a golden retriever was 17, and today it is 9. You look at what's going on with cancer. Studies show that 65% of our pets will get cancer. Studies show that there's 6 million new cases of diabetes in pets. Where in the world did
Every
that
year.
happen? That when they're in the wild, no pets are getting diabetes. I mean, come on. 1 in 3 are getting allergies. There's all types of things that are going on. And, as a company, as we've been doing what we've been doing for over 6 years now, we really focused on that side and looking into, why are all these things happening? And, it all comes down to diet. 90% of our dog foods are made by 3 candy bar companies that are out there. So why is sugar even needed to be added into pet food? And, we understand the reasoning for it because of all that we're learning about sugar today. I watched just the other day, a physician was talking about what would happen if you just went 2 weeks without any sugar, the differences you would see. Most of us have those rounding faces. And he said, in 2 weeks, you'll see that your face will trim up. The way you think and all the amazing.
Let me interrupt you real quick, Kurt, because I want people to understand. Well, 2 weeks without sugar. We're not talking about just going getting sugar, dropping it in your coffee, or like I assume what he's saying is you're making sure the foods you have don't have sugar and all this stuff. And I would challenge, I'm going to challenge myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to go 2 weeks without sugar.
Yeah.
And maybe I could bring you guys back in 2 weeks and we rock this. But I'm going to do a full-on battle. That means I'm going to check every label. I'm going to check everything, and we're going to go 0 sugar outside of like what's in my fruits, because I gotta have my fruits. But because I cold press my fruits and stuff like that. I'm not like the store preserved stuff. I'm gonna go 2 weeks, and I'm very curious to what I'm gonna notice. But finish. I want to know what he said. So it starts to sharpen out the face.
Yeah, sharpen up the face. The weight that you lose just in the 2 weeks. The eyesight improvement. Again, the cognitive thinking and what it does for the clarity. The sleeping. I mean, he just went on and on. It was about 12 minutes of just different things. And like he said, just the regular things that we eat on a daily basis, we get enough sugar out of that. But it's the additional things that people are adding, and these products that are adding sugar to them on top of the sugar that's in them, and how much we consume. It's really causing the problems, the inflammation, the issues our bodies are dealing with. And just by getting rid of sugar is amazing. So,
it's a good sales tactic for pet foods and pet treats, because sugar is as addictive as heroin. It just doesn't have the same side effects, which is why it's legal, but it has the same exact addictive properties as heroin. And so think about our pets. There's 0 reason to put sugar in anything we're giving to our pets. The only reason they do it is so that our pets will crave it. They'll eat twice as much. They'll beg us for more. We're buying twice as much as we would normally buy. And of course, in their minds, our pets are replaceable, because what do we do when we get sad? Because they're literally our family. Like, they're our children, And
even
when
cats.
Yeah, except for cats. Our cat's our son too. We have a cat. It's my first cat I've ever had. I totally understand, Alpha. like an alien to me. I'm like, it's a totally different language. Took me forever to understand him, but he's the best cat in the world. I'm so grateful. He kind of acts like a dog. So we
I'll tell you my cat story afterwards. You guys will understand where I'm coming from, but please continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's funny. And so, yeah, when we're giving all of this to our pets and they're overeating it, and that's why we're having all of these conditions that we're dealing with now, is because it's just been sales and marketing tactics and little compromises and shortcuts that these manufacturers and companies have been doing for years. So we have a saying with our company, and that is the Coriolis versicolor mushroom: every pet, every person, every day. Every pet, every person, every day should at least be getting this whole food, the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, into the system, because the immune system is the body's first defense. So it doesn't matter what you're eating. It doesn't matter what treatments you're on or medications you're on. It doesn't matter what toxicity you're exposed to or chemical overload that you're exposed to. Your immune system is always going to be like your best armor. It's going to be your best line of defense. And the Coriolis versicolor mushroom is the most heavily studied natural immune supporting option that has the best results. And so we tell everyone, no matter what you're going through, every pet, every person, every day should be on that Coriolis versicolor mushroom. And then for more targeted approaches, if there are more specific, intentions that you have, maybe specific conditions or things that your pet's dealing with or that you're dealing with, then you can use the additional things like the lion's mane mushroom or the reishi mushroom or the mineral rich antler powder, that you can add to really just help accelerate that progress. But yeah, this has been going on for too long. The pets have become irreplaceable. That's why they've become replaceable to these manufacturers and these companies and, industries. And that's why they're living half as long as they used to. So we're just like on an underground mission, really, to be like, oh, one pet off of medication, one more person off, one more pet without this treatment, and that one more person without that one, and just kind of changing the world one pet, one person at a time, and letting it kind of ripple out.
And Alpha, if I may, the Coriolis versicolor that Kristen is talking about, there's over 400 clinical studies on that. It's not, hey, just take this mushroom, let's see what it does. And what those studies have concluded is what it does for your immune system. It's just immune support. It's not a cure for anything or anything for any situation. But if we can get our immune system functioning and running properly, our immune system is designed to do something in our body. That's the thing that keeps us healthy. And we see these people that never have issues, never get sick. And it's because their immune systems are so healthy, it combats any of the issues that start hitting it. But due to all the different things, our environment, the things we put in our body, we breathe, we step on, the stuff that we're doing, all affects that. And what this mushroom does is these studies by the major institutions out there, MD Anderson, Harvard, Loma Linda, it's published in the Library of Medicine. And we just happen to have the most potent strain that you can get your hands on. We also have a proprietary way we extract it for even greater efficacy. And we see just so many testimonials because people's immune system responds well to it. It gets into their system, and that immune system goes in and does what it needs to do to help, with these types of things. And definitely putting in your body to stay proactive versus reactive is so important. And, Kristen had mentioned, if someone's dealing with something or their pet is, that they want to see if this will work for them and help them, then double or triple up on the amount of that in-force that they're taking, or the product, our gravy or whatever it is for the pets that you're giving them, double and triple up until that issue gets back in order or even resolved. And then just do the steady amount to keep yourself, staying healthy. And, we used to kid around years ago. We would probably, if we left our cell phone at home, we'd turn around and go get it because we need it. If we're going out of town or going somewhere, we will turn around and get it. Or if, we've already at the airport, we'll call the company and have it shipped to where we're going, one day, because we do not want to be without them. I mean, that's how important they are to us.
It's the most
And the
important
results we've
food that
seen.
we eat
Yeah, period.
all day.
Doesn't interact with any medications. You can't overdose on it. You can't get addicted to it.
No side effects.
No side effects. It's just that it's the greatest thing that God put on this planet, that was designed to be here for a reason.
Well, and a good question probably all of us should be asking is, why are they trying to compromise our immune systems? Why is the processed foods, the stuff that we're putting onto our skin, and the stuff that we're eating, the stuff that's getting injected, the stuff, the water, the air, all to compromise the immune system? Why? How powerful is the immune system that they're constantly throwing everything they can at it to try to compromise it, you know?
Yeah,
It's really
just
telling.
a lot of companies, you know, they want to sell their product, they want to get things out, and they don't take the time to really look into what could be causing these problems as well. It's just there's many things that are out there that are going on, and you know, it's great to know there's something that can be very helpful.
Yeah.
And
The amount of knowledge that I've gained in the last approaching 4 years now,
Yeah.
you know, from people like yourselves, people that have been doing like holistic stuff for 20, 30 years. I'm like, what? And the part that like really shocks me, it's simple. It's
It
like,
is.
you know, like I know for the person that's probably hearing this for the first time, you're thinking like, listen, I ain't got time to, you know, take a flight to the Amazon and, you know, go down some crazy river to find some like rare mushroom or climb some cliff to get some weird flower. Like, you know, we just kind of think it's so hard. And it's just like, no, man, like, you just pick up a phone or go online, or, you know, go to a holistic store if you got one around you, and then bam, you can have some of these things that are just really simple, very cheap, very affordable, and change everything. There's this one thing, and I'm gonna forget the name of it, but it's Nurse Carol's gonna get mad at me. She's gonna be like, "You should know, Alpha. I've been telling you for 4 years." But it's this silver, where people used to say, "Oh, turn you blue." You know, I can't
We're
think.
colloidal.
Yeah,
silver, yeah.
Colloidal silver.
yeah. As a matter of fact, Alex Jones says colloidal silver, right? But there's like a natural way that you can do your own. Like it's a very easy process should you want to. And when you hear it, it's like, man, this sounds weird. But then you go and you research it, because they haven't gone to that stuff yet, right? They're not trying to wipe it off the map yet. It's just they put it on page like 6 or 7 of, you know, the devil's Google. But once you find it, you're just like, oh, I can go buy that. I can get these ingredients and, you know, have them here by tomorrow.
Yep.
And then change this stuff. And it's like, you know, my audience, some of the people in my audience sees are like, Alpha's doing mushrooms now. It's like, y'all better be careful how you say that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Be really careful.
People are going to get that twisted.
Mushroom therapy.
But 100%, it's just it. I just want people to understand that big pharma has realized how to target specific things with chemicals,
Yeah.
and they work, but they work with extreme consequence. You know, there's a big consequence. You know, I like the fitness stuff. You know, the BCAAs and, you know, all these different things. And there was this one particular thing, and I'm going to bring it back to the mushrooms, I promise. There was this one particular thing that a buddy had said, hey, man, like, this is really good to kind of help your body absorb some of these other things that we're taking, because these damn things are expensive. So, of course, you want to get as much of it as you can. It was called 5-HTP, or maybe HTP5. You know, I might have it backwards there. But I remember taking it, and it was doing exactly what he told me. But I noticed something else, and it was a funny side effect. Everything was funny to me. I would just find things and I'd just start cracking up even by myself. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I start reading about this, and I stopped it just because it was great. It just made me feel unnatural. You know, that's the best way to kind of describe how it felt. Even though it wasn't bad, I felt unnatural.
Yeah.
And so I start reaching it, and people said, yes, that it was a mood enhancer as well. And that's why I just had this additional humor to me, but it was just odd. But it just tells you, like, and I'm not talking something that took like 2 weeks to realize. I'm talking with just in a few days.
Yeah.
I'd noticed this. And so people need to understand that, you know, all the stuff that's in our body, you know, the natural chemicals and stuff that are in our body, like, if we don't take care of that stuff,
Yeah.
because they know what, like you said, they know why they're putting sugars. They know why they're putting, this, what is that, MSG? Like, they know why they're putting all this stuff. So if we're not aware of it, then we're going to be victimized every single time and not even realize it. And we're going to associate it to things like, I mean, at least I did, and I consider myself, quasi normal of a dude. It's just like, oh, it must be because I ain't sleeping enough. Oh, it must be because, I'm stressed out because of the kids. Oh, it must because, it's this new route, or it's because I'm worried about this, or, what, this bill's starting to catch up with me. That must be what it is. It never dawns on me. It's because they're poisoning me. That's what's going on. They're poisoning me.
Yes. I mean, when you're young, you always thought if it was out there and you could eat it, they had to have looked at it and it was okay to eat. You never worried about it. But now we see there's things that are in our food in the United States that they will not allow to be put in the food in other countries. And what does that tell you? I mean, come on.
They're outlawed.
Why do we get these concerns and worry that some of this stuff is done intentionally, or some isn't, of course, but we know that, oh man,
one more funny, and then I got a question I want to ask you. That actually, this same question came from a couple of people, but I was in a rush. People are gonna judge me. I know y'all shouldn't be judging me. I know you guys are gonna judge me on this one. I was in a rush. I was behind. Didn't get any of the meal prepping done stuff that I did. So I ordered that really bad place that has those golden arches, right? And because I was hungry. I needed to get something in my body. I felt just gross afterwards. My stomach was upset. Like, I dealt with that for about almost a full day.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, when you start to distance yourself from these things and then you reintroduce them, and you've been introducing good stuff into your body rejects this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your body tells you, look, alpha, like, don't do that again, man. Like, we're going to show you, what you're doing inside, we're going to make you feel that on the outside, because we do not want to do this again. And it just breaks my heart that so many people are doing this daily. So here's a funny story about cats. It's going to lead into this question I got for you guys. The only reason I'm so judgmental about cats is because I can't have cats. All right, everybody, like, the secret's out of the box. My best friend Frank, growing up, he was half Filipino, half white. His mom was the one that had the Filipino side, and they were cat people. I think they had like 7 or 8 cats. Like, they had a bunch of cats. But this is my best friend. Like, we grew up together since like 3rd grade. So every time we'd go over, to have a fun day, or like a weekend sleepover with all the buddies, like, when I look, it's funny because when I look back at our pictures from like birthday parties and things at his house, you can always find me because I got the red eyes, my face is flushed. You can sometimes there's pictures where I'm holding tissue, but you kids, you just power through it because you want to be with your friends.
Yeah.
But I had an allergy to cats. So, as I grew up, I just, unless I was at my buddy's house, like, I distanced myself from cats. And then, of course, I would have my son. And what pet does he freaking want?
A cat.
He wants the furry. And so I'm like, no, you want a dog, man. Like, that's what you really want. He's like, no, Dad, I want a cat. So cute. And I'm like, no, you want a dog. So we take him to the pet store. Lady brings over the cat, and he's loving on it. He's all excited about it. And the lady can see that I'm apprehensive. So I don't know if I just ooze I'm allergic to these things or what. But she looks at me. She goes, you hold it. Like, very stern. And I'm just like, yeah, all right. And it's a little cat, not even a full built one. It's tiny. And you can immediately, I'm doing it phases me so fast to, like, when I was working law enforcement, as I was approaching a house, I knew when the house had cats.
Wow.
Like, it's that strong of an effect on me. Now, people have told me, well, there's like, stuff you can do for the animals, or there's pills you can take for you to deal with the allergy. And I'm like, I ain't about that. I ain't trying to change them. I ain't trying to change me. Nature is what nature is. But it brought up an interesting question and I think there's about 4 or 5 emails that I got. And this one actually comes back to dogs, but their dogs are dealing with dandruff.
Mm-hmm.
And they were curious, is this something that can maybe even help that? And I was like, what? That's a good question. I was like, let me ask Kurt and Kristen the next time I talk to them. Have you guys had any feedback with the dogs that are dealing with dandruff?
Absolutely. Especially with our dog Super Sauce. It's particularly a skin and coat formula. So it not only has the Coriolis versicolor mushroom to help their immune system with whatever allergies they're experiencing, because that's usually what causes the dandruff, is it's usually an allergic reaction. Your immune system, it might even help you with your allergy to cats. He used to be allergic to pomegranate. I was gluten intolerant. Now, no reaction at all. So we hear this a lot of, especially of allergies that develop a little bit later. But yeah, if your pet has dandruff, your dog, your cat, get them on that dog or cat super sauce. You'll notice within just days a difference. It also has some additional minerals and vitamins and antioxidants that help with the coat and the skin. So yeah, we see that all the time.
That is awesome. So I know they're watching. So there you guys go. I told you what I asked, and you got the answer. Is there a version of something like that for us as humans? I'm curious.
We're taking it. So the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. So if you get the Inforce or the Inforce Plus, which are the green bottle or the yellow bottle, that has a Coriolis versicolor mushroom, and it will support your immune system, and your immune system fights off the allergies. So I used to take an allergy pill almost every day. And we also both like major athletes growing up, and you know what that does to your body as you get older. So I was taking, I don't know, 5 to 7 ibuprofen a week, just every time I would get stiff. And gosh, I don't even remember. It's been years since I took an allergy pill or any medication at all, even an Advil. I haven't taken any medication whatsoever in over 4 years now.
And that's with this
From the Inforce. Yep,
Yeah.
just from the Inforce.
Okay. So
I was so allergic to pomegranates that, if I even got a kernel in my mouth, I was on my way to the hospital. And so I was, and can I say 100% for sure it was this mushroom? No, but I have not done anything else but take this mushroom. And then just about a year ago, there was a salad that I ate that had pomegranate in it. And I didn't know it until I ate it. And then I was like, what? Oh no. And nothing happened.
Zero reaction.
Zero reaction. I'm like, this is incredible. I was like, okay, we're going to have to
get the EpiPen.
Yeah. Let's go.
That is wild. So, if you look in my coffee cabinet where I have these bad boys as well, 2 bottles you're also going to find in there is Claritin and Zyrtec.
Yeah.
Because
whenever you feel like allergies coming on or a cold or anything like that starting to come on, we just take extra mushrooms and our immune system goes through it really, really fast. So your immune system fights it off on its own. So I used to get colds and they would last 2 to 3 weeks and I would take all kinds of stuff. Now, if I catch a cold, it's like a day, maybe 2. And I go through all of the stages of it in like 24 hours and I'm done. And it's very mild. And that's just your own immune system. So I just take extra mushrooms, give my immune system extra support anytime I'm dealing with, I feel it coming on. If I feel a little extra inflammation in my body, or if I do something strenuous and I feel that, then I just take a couple extra mushrooms and my own body takes care of it.
This is freaking cool.
Amazing. Yeah.
And the funny part is, I wouldn't have made this connection until I would have got a really bad allergy spout. Mm-hmm. But I would usually take my Claritin or Zyrtec at least once a week.
Mm-hmm.
That I take it because I get in one of those blowing your nose frenzies. And I'm thinking about it right now. I'm like, oh my gosh, when was the last time I had one? And I just realized I don't even remember when the last time I had a Claritin or Zyrtec. This is, I bet you if I do the math, it's probably right around the time that I first started taking the plus.
Mm-hmm.
What a trip! I wouldn't have not made that connection had you guys not talked about it. So it's cool to know that there's that bonus to it as well. Are there any other products? I know we're focusing on the mushrooms, but are there any other products on the website that, can treat, well, I don't want to use the word treat, but can assist in, dealing with some of these other ailments that are outside of just the mushrooms, whether it be like the coffee or cookies or gummies for kids? Is there anything else that you've seen that has become really popular, gotten a lot of positive feedback on?
Yeah, well, the coffee and the mushrooms and gummies all have, or coffee and the gummies and the cookies all have that mushroom in them. And we just believe in enjoying your life, and not everybody wants to take pills all the time or give their pets pills. So that's why we always put the supplements in, like we bake them into dog biscuits for dogs, or we put it into handmade gravy, or we have horse cakes for horses that they can get the mushroom. We always feel like that's the best way. So even for humans, we add it into coffee and cookies and gummies that are 100% natural, which I've never found 100% natural gummy on the market yet. So we're super excited to introduce that. But especially for your pets, if you have a dog that is chewing on rocks a lot or eating a lot of wood, or sometimes dogs will eat their own poop or eat other animals' poop, and that's because their bodies are craving minerals, because most of the stuff that we get from the store is just completely minerally depleted. So we do have some toys that are made from natural shed antlers, so no animals are ever harmed, and it's A and B grade. So you're not going to get, it's not super brittle, it's not going to be messy or have a bad smell to it. And that's helping them to get those minerals into their diets. We even take the mushroom powder and we add it into biscuits called the Bucky Bites. And that's especially helpful for dogs with heart or kidney problems. Get them on those Bucky Bites, because that's going to help get those minerals into their system. But on top of that, what people don't realize, Alpha, with the toys we've traditionally given our pets, they're swallowing bits and pieces of it. So now we're finding bleach stuffing, styrofoam, plastic, pieces of tennis balls, heavily dyed and processed cotton and nylon fibers that are synthetic. So it's shredding their digestive system. And unless these animals are able to just pass this on their own, or we do some type of emergency surgery, it's stuck in their system for the rest of their lives. And it's poisoning them from the inside out. And then even options that we believe are more natural, like bones and pig ears and rawhides, heavily processed using glues and bleaches and preservatives like formaldehyde. They paint them red, which is the harshest coloring to make it look like it's more natural, but it actually has stain on it. And so it's causing a lot of problems for our pets. So we offer just completely untreated, untouched antler for your pets to chew on. Even your cats, we have untreated hemp rope pull toy for them that's, marinated in organic catnip, and it's just much more natural for them. So as they're chewing on it, and even if they swallow bits and pieces of it, it's actually good for their system. It's not going to hurt them. So we're always encouraging pet parents to keep that in mind. On the website, there are a lot of research articles where people can get more information on that. But
well, I was just going to finish what you're saying, but I was going to mention the coffee as well, because if you're a coffee snob and you do love coffee, everything has a 30-day money back guarantee. You order that coffee in and you don't think it's just amazing, and with the mushroom in it, it just complements it so well. Good. It's so good.
Have you tried it yet?
I'm gonna have to, because since I'm going to no sugar, yeah, I'm gonna have to rely on just straight coffee. So I'm gonna be ordering some as soon as we're done.
Yeah, tell them how our coffee's created and done.
Yeah, it's really fresh. A lot of the coffee out there has molds in it and mycotoxins, and it's just not good what's on the market, and it's kind of old, by the time it comes into our homes, which is why it's developing so many molds. So ours is roasted and ground fresh within a week of you ordering it. And it's so smooth and delicious. And even for the decaf, I stopped drinking caffeine 3 years ago because I was addicted to it. And I've literally been drinking it since I was 2. And so I just stopped. And we have a decaf coffee that we use CO2 to decaffeinate it. So it's completely natural process. We don't use bleaches or any chemicals. And you could tell the difference in it. So we always encourage people, when you try the coffee, pay attention, because you're not going to feel the jitters. You're not going to feel that acidic feeling in your stomach, because the mushroom's actually alkalinizing, and it complements it really, really well. It's just another way to get that extra. Coffee's already a superfood, so why not add another superfood to it and double its impact? But you're going to be a good one, because you love coffee. So, and you tell the truth in everything. You're completely transparent with everything. So I can't wait to hear your review on it.
Oh, I will. I'll be honest. Like, I'll tell people, listen, I'm gonna keep taking it because it's healthy, but I had to put in some special milk, you know what I mean, to kind of help me with it. Speaking of milk, because once again, I'm a coffee person. I'm trying to remember who I had this conversation with, and they're just like, well, you got to be careful with the milks because of the sugars and at the store and stuff like that. I'm like, you're telling me they put sugar in milk? Like, and they're like, check the back of the box on some of these things. And I was just, but it's milk. And when you go check some of the ingredients, they are, no kidding, putting it's smaller. So it's not like, what the shake was, but yes, some of the milks have freaking sugars in them. It's crazy. So then I was just like, well, man, I don't live too far from farms, but there's, it's not so convenient, to make these connections with farms. They're like, no, like if you have like a Sprouts or some of these places, call them. They have these natural milks that come in. There's just people know about it. So you got to know the delivery date because you got to get in there and get it. And I was just like, man, so people out there getting the good natural stuff, and just the word's not out yet, but I'm gonna get the word out.
Our daughter
they drink the raw milk.
Drinks the raw, and she swears by it, but by what it's done for them by transitioning to it, and many different changes.
Oh yeah, a lot of inflammation gone. You just don't think about things that you think are natural that were originally natural, but by the time it goes through their whole process, it's not even close to the same thing.
Here's a fact that's just gonna totally shock everybody. I just learned this a couple of days ago. Chicken farms. I think you call them chicken farms, or a place where the chickens do the eggs, right? Chicken farms.
Mm-hmm.
The largest owner of chicken farms in the United States is the government.
Wow.
The government can own farms?
So the thing behind it, as I understand it, is they use it for the eggs and stuff for testing. But when you go and you look it up, it's not even like the second place is a close runner up. It is exponentially the biggest owner of chicken farms is the government. Now they say it's because of lab stuff and all this other stuff they're doing and things they're developing. But I mean, because they're
even worse
because they're so honest with us, right? I'm just like, wait, why would they? Yes.
Yeah, they're always looking out for our best interests. I mean, hey.
Yeah, when I heard that one, I was just like, this is pretty crazy. Like, this is gonna send me down one of those rabbit holes that Alpha's gonna come back from and be like, oh no.
Here's another rabbit hole for you, and I haven't researched this at all, but we've got a very close friend that owns a commercial fishing boat off of Sausalito, and they do a lot of salmon fishing and different things like that. And he was telling us that whenever you go to a restaurant and they say Atlantic Coast salmon, we have fresh Atlantic Coast salmon. He said that is farm raised. And he said anything that's always ask if it's farm raised, because we're told how great salmon is for us and the benefits are amazing. But if it's farm raised, they're feeding that top layer of them in almost all the farm raised locations, he said. And so they feed them, and most of them get the food. A little bit goes through, and there's layers and layers, and a lot of them are eating the feces of all the other salmon. And so it's causing, he said, it's almost toxic in many cases. And again, I have not looked into this. I have not researched. I'm going by what he said.
Those too?
But that was interesting as well, So, be careful with the salmon when you go and you're having salmon as well. So
we want wild salmon. That's what wild you
salmon. Want. Ask, hey, is it Pacific Coast? Is it wild? Wild salmon? Or I always just say, hey, where's your salmon from? Is it farm raised? And they'll either come back and say, yeah, it's farm raised, or they'll come back and say it's Atlantic Coast, and I just don't have it because of what he told us. But Norwegian or Pacific or other things, then I'll do salmon.
Man, the knowledge. I told you guys, have your notepad and your pen ready. Before I let you guys go, any final thoughts that you want to give? Sorry about that. Any final thoughts that you want to give to my audience?
Yeah, I just want to encourage people, regardless of what they're experiencing with their pets or even with themselves, just give it a try. Like you said, there's a 30-day money back guarantee, so there's no risk. But we can't tell you the thousands of testimonials that we're getting back of what happens when the immune system's actually supported. So regardless of what you're going through, I just want you to be encouraged and know that there is something out there that's helping a lot of animals, helping a lot of people. And I also just want to thank you, Alpha. Thank you so much for pouring your life into this and helping so many people. And we're incredibly grateful for the work that you're doing. And we're just not only thankful for ourselves, but for our children and the future generations that are going to benefit from you being on the front lines information-wise in the way that you are. So thank you for sharing your platform.
Yeah, you think about people that are doing what you're doing, Alpha, and the time and effort that you have to put in, and what it takes away from your family. We were like, we should do a podcast, and then we're like, oh my gosh, man, what they have to do every day, and the editing, and the this and the that, and I mean, it is so much work. People don't see you don't see everything that's going on in the back end. You see the front end, and you think, oh, it's just this. So yeah, thank you, because it's people like you that are waking people up to what is going on, where all of us, we're just running and busy and
helping to organize and mobilize people,
man.
and give us instructions for like what we can do in our lives to make it better for everyone.
The problem with America today is there's so many distractions that we can never get really grounded to what's really going on. People are just living their day in and day out, and not opening up to knowing what's really happening. And that's, oh man.
Yeah. So thank you. And we're so grateful to partner with you and help you, in your efforts, and be able to do what we can to help you as you go forward and on the front lines, supporting the front lines through our company. So just wanted you to know how grateful we are for you.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Of course, the honor is mine. It gives me a way to help people again. It's speaking of, what you said, it's so crazy. When you look at the news, and how fast, like front page headline news in the morning is like page 2 and 3 by the time we get to the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like we've probably experienced so many like breaking news headlines in the last, 4, 5, 6 years. That's probably equivalent to maybe decades. I just don't remember news being that dramatic all the time growing up. As like a lot of these headlines would have had us glued to the TVs or the radio for hours and days.
Yeah.
Now it's like because I see this in spaces when I go into these virtual town halls where there'll be breaking news. People come listen, they just go about their day because they've just been we've become callous to like chaos, and that's sad.
It's sad. We almost had a former president assassinated, and it seems like it's just no more. It's gone. It's swept under the carpet like everything else, just avoided. It's just so shocking to me, and it wouldn't matter what side of the aisle that happened on. That is just not right.
100%
right.
100% agree with you guys on that. Awesome. I can't wait to give you guys a 2-week update on either Cranky Alpha because he's had 0 sugar or what that looks like. But I will give everybody the pros and cons of what 2 weeks with no sugar looks like. And like I said, I'm gonna, outside of like my fruits, you guys, I will do my best that if any sugar ends into my body, it's through like some natural process that you just, there's nothing you can do about it. It just exists there. But as far as, additives, ain't gonna do it. So with that, you guys, Kurt and Kristen, link to all the stuff we're talking about. You've seen it scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and it's down in the description. So if you've been driving, you didn't miss out on, as soon as you come to a stop somewhere and park, just go down there, click it. It'll take you straight to it. So with that, you guys support the people that support this show. Stick around. We ran commercial free through the content. And I'll catch you guys next time. Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Simplify, and God bless everybody.
Are you worried about the effects that higher inflation rates will have on your investments? Are you trying to secure your retirement savings against losses, but you notice that inflation is a hot topic these days? But how dangerous are low inflation rates on your retirement savings? An inflation rate of 2% may not seem like much, but it means that prices will just about quintuple over the lifetime of the average American. And 4% average inflation rate means that something that costs $1 when they're born will cost $23 when they die. That demonstrates the danger of even low inflation rates. So when it comes to gold and inflation rates, many investors want to know whether inflation rates have an effect on gold prices. What history indicates is that over the long term, increased inflation should lead to correspondingly higher gold prices. From September 1971 to August 2020, gold grew 7.5 times as much as inflation. Not only can an investment in physical gold help protect your assets against the damage done by inflation, it can also help grow the value of your retirement portfolio over the long term. If you're looking to protect your retirement assets, why wait until stock markets crash and gold begins to rise in price?